Hello friends, so I just finished watching a business proposal and I really couldn't hold myself back from trying to make Shin Ha-ris crochet tapestry. And I looked all over for a tutorial on YouTube and Google and everywhere and I couldn't find one, so I made one instead. Please enjoy and let me know if this was helpful, or if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. First up, I'll be showing you how to make these granny squares. So we are going to start out by making a magic circle or a magic ring, and I apologize in advance for the bad setup, but this is the best I could do. And once you're done with making that, go ahead and start chaining 3. Then after you're done chaining 3, you can double crochet into the magic ring. Then once you're done with your double crochet, you can chain 1 and then double crochet into the ring again. So you want to repeat this entire process, double crochet, chain, till you have 11 double crochets, and then your 3 chains at the beginning will count as a double crochet. Then at the end, make sure you just recount so you have 12 in total. Then you can go ahead and chain 1 and then pull on the little string to close your work. Then you can see the 3 chains from the beginning, count up to the 3rd chain and slip stitch into that to close the round. Many people fasten theirs off different ways, but this is how I do mine. I just chain 1 and then pull my string through so it creates a knot. And then this is your first round done. On to the second round. Started out with a slip knot, and you can place it anywhere in your work, but I like to keep mine close to where we fastened off in the last round. Then you can use a slip stitch to put your slip knot into your work and start out the second round. Start out the second round by chaining 2 and go back into that same spot with a double crochet. Then you can chain 1 and find in between the last round, find in between those 2 stitches and do 2 double crochets. Then you can go ahead and chain 1 and double crochet 2 double crochets in the next spot. Chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. I think you get the idea, but it's basically the same as last round, except instead of doing 1 double crochet, you are doing 2, making sure to chain after every 2 double crochets. Then you can slip stitch into the second chain that you made at the beginning, and I'm fastening this off the same way I did last time. I'm chaining 1, pulling my string through, and that's just how I'm finishing mine. But this would be the end of your second round. Round number 3 is pretty much the same as round number 2. Start out with a slip knot and slip stitch that into your last round. Start out this round with 3 chains, and we are going to do 2 double crochets into that same space. So for round 1 we did 1 double crochet, round 2 we did 2 double crochet, and now for round 3 we are going to work on doing 3 double crochets per space. And we're still keeping track, as that first 3 chain is still going to be counted as a double crochet. So here we have 3 double crochets, and we are going to chain 1 and repeat that entire process until we get around the entire circle. Once we are almost done with this round, making sure to chain after every 3 double crochets, we can count up those 3 chains and slip stitch into the 3rd chain to finish off this round. After fastening off, we are done with the 3rd round. Okay, so rather than increasing in the amount of double crochets we're doing each round, it's going to be a lot more different this round. So it's starting off the same, but since we're doing a square, rather than continuing on the circle, we are going to start off with 5 chains rather than 3 or 2. After you finish your 5 chains, put 2 double crochets into that same space with the chains. And since we're still counting the chains as a double crochet, we're going to have 3 double crochets in that first area. Now, rather than chaining in between, we're just going to go straight into the next one and place 3 double crochets. And that goes same for the next space as well. Rather than chaining, just 3 straight into the next one. And now for this 4th space, it is also different. So we're going to still start out with our 3 double crochets. But we're going to move these guys over so we can add 2 chains and 3 more double crochets into that. So on the corners, it's going to be the same. We're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and in the same space, 3 more double crochets. And here's what the corners will look like after you are done. Continuing on, in these next 2 spaces are going to be 3 double crochets each. Now here's another corner one. So on this corner one, you're going to do 3 double crochets, 2 chains, and 3 more double crochets. Now here's where we can see the square coming together. Now we can continue on and repeat this process until we reach the first little 5 chains that we had, and I'll show you how to finish that off because it is a little trickier than it seems. Now, once we get to the end, we can see that we have the 3 there, but we still need 3 more in that space. So, no chains in between, 3 double crochets in that space. Once we are done with those 3 double crochets, we can count up to the 3rd chain of our 5 chains, slip stitch in there, and that's it. After you fasten off, you are done with your very first square of our little tapestry. sew them together whichever way you like, but I kind of just did randomized. And then hang it on your wall, and this will be your final product.